Physical pursuits often come cloaked in extremes, either laser-focused blueprints for chasing a triathlon finish line or breezy chants to stay active. Many fixate on heart-pumping rhythms over muscle-fortifying loads, or the reverse. This exploration charts a different course, crafting a movement practice rooted in the art of thriving long and strong. What blend of efforts can push back the shadows of wear and tear while keeping vitality's flame burning bright? This puzzle isn't a simple thread to unravel, like dodging a single storm. It's a tapestry woven in 3 layers: stamina's steady hum, power's bold surge, and balance's quiet anchor. Each strand fortifies the body against time's grind, stretching both years and vigor. Yet these aren't flat plains to tread. Stamina flows wide as a river, power shifts like a tide, and balance remains a hidden root, often overlooked. When stamina's song is sung, it's no single note, but a symphony, spanning a gentle ramble to a breathless dash. These tempos all stir the heart, yet they draw from varied wells of energy. 2 currents matter most here: the long, even keel of trekking or paddling, known as the cruising gear, and the peak gusts that test the lungs' fullest reach. Power, at first glance, seems a blunt tool. Press against resistance. Be it iron, earth, or stretch, and the body's sinews harden in reply. It's a marvel of nature's design. But the aim isn't just to stack strength or bulk, it's to wield it without breaking. That's where balance steps in, a silent guardian. More on that soon, but picture it as the keel beneath a ship, unseen yet steadying every wave. This guardian matters as much as stamina or might. Without it, even the fittest can falter. Take Clara, spry for her years, but undone by a stumble her frame couldn't catch. Many sail the same sea, unaware of the cracks beneath their hull. Thus, the quest is to lift not just lung capacity or raw force, but the resilience to weather life's jolts unscathed. The sections ahead will forge a scaffold around these pillars, shaping a regimen for a silver lifespan gauntlet, a pursuit of enduring vigor. Stamina's steady pulse. Cruising gear, one word, has dodged this dance so far: calories. Common lore crowns exercise as a calorie-torching forge. It does spark that fire, but the focus here drills deeper, into the body's fuel barrels, sugars and fats. How these reserves are tapped shapes not just fitness, but the whole machinery of wellness. Moving in a precise, measured rhythm hones the knack for burning both, with tiny cellular furnaces, life's spark plugs, at the helm. These spark plugs churn energy from sugars and fats, guarding the mind's clarity and taming. Rogue flames like rust or swelling. A body without thriving spark plugs is a lantern dimmed. That's why steady, enduring treks in the cruising gear hold such sway. This gear sits among 5 effort tiers used by trailblazers in stamina crafts, like rowing or ridge running, to hone their pace. Some measure it by heartbeats, others by force unleashed. Some carve 5 zones, others stretch to 7. The first is a meadow stroll, the 5th, a lightning sprint. The cruising gear, though, is a universal shore, brisk enough to nudge the breath, yet calm enough to trade words, albeit with a huff. Years of pedaling trails taught its worth, but a chance encounter with movement sage Mateo Alvarez in 2019 under a crisp Chilean moon sharpened the lens. Alvarez, a guide for peak climbers, at a Santiago academy, tested endurance limits late into the night. Strapped to a treadmill at 1 a.m., lungs pumping, the revelation landed. This gear isn't just for summit chasers, it's a lifeline for all. With a past steering Alpine victors, Alvarez bridges the hale and the fragile. His gospel, spark plugs are the pivot. In fit frames they hum, sipping fats at will. In faltering ones, they sputter, guzzling sugars alone. A study he coaxed to life pitted ridge runners against desk dwellers and sugar-shackled souls. The runners soared, weaving fat into power. The shackled limped sugar-bound from the first step, a stark divide in fuel freedom. For ridge runners, this gear lays the bedrock. 25 hours of weekly ascent, most in that steady hum. For the rest, it's a shield, staving off decay by tuning those spark plugs. It's the first rung in the silver lifespan gauntlet, a base for every leap, be it chasing a kite with kin or cresting a dawn hill. In this gear, the body's endurance, threads, slow-weaving fibers, spin tirelessly, rich with spark plugs. Push harder, and swift fibers flare, less frugal but fierce, spilling a tangy byproduct. This brew isn't foe. Seasoned movers reclaim it as fuel. Trouble brews when it sours, searing the sinews with effort's sting. The trick? Cruise at the edge where this brew flows but doesn't flood, where spark plugs match its tide. Too fierce, and the burn bites. Too tame, and the gain fades. Gauges can track it, keeping the bruise measure between 1.5 and 2.2 ticks ensures the sweet spot. No gauge? Trust the breath. Words should spill, but chatter lags. Output varies wild. Runners. In Alvarez's tail spun 350 units of force. The shackled mustered 120. Per stone of flesh, the gap yawns. 5 units for the fleet, 1 for the frail. It's the spark plug's song, the fitter hum loud, the faltering wheeze. Aging dims these furnaces, but motion stokes them anew, birthing fresh ones and clearing the dross. Each trek fans their glow, while stillness snuffs it out. Muscle, the body's sugar vault, drinks deep in this gear, slashing free sugars that scar the frame. Studies clock 100-fold gulp during motion, some paths sidestepping the usual. Key entirely, a boon for sugar-locked souls. Even the idle can join, be it a sharp stroll or a slant climb. 3 hours weekly, split into 4 50-minute bursts, lifts most past the novice crest. One soul, tethered to sugar's whims, tames it with daily marches of 8 miles. The gear's ease invites all. Its fruit endures. Progress sings in force. Per stone, say 150 units at 70 stones yields over 2 units, fit for the hail. The elite chase 3.5, ridge runners top 5. It's not the peak, but the climb that counts. Dull? Pair it with tales or musings, it sharpens the mind's edge too. Think of it as a windmill's base, unseen, yet powering every turn in motion and in life. Peak stamina. Surge. Lung limit. If cruising gear is a river's flow, the lung limit is a tempest's roar, a fierce, fleeting blaze short of a wild sprint. Here, breath and burst meld, maxing the air drawn in. The cruising gear nudges this crest, but to scale it, deliberate gusts are key. Why the fuss? This crest ties tight to long years, as earlier trails showed. Testing it, though an ordeal of masked strides, reveals what's possible. Most can chase it, charting a rise against their kin. The ordeal's grit, pedal or pound till collapse, air-tracked tick by tick. Yearly, it's a mirror. Fit folk hit 40 units per stone at 40. By 70, only the top 5% hold that pace. Tasks once. Breezy stair sprints or ridge rambles grow steep with time's creep. The aim? Soar to the elite, top 2%, then chase the vigor of 2 decades prior. A 55-year-old ridge roamer at 35 units now risks 22 by 85, too frail for peaks. To crest them still, 48 today is the mark, a youthful echo. Every gain lifts life's hue, jumping from the lowest rung to middling halves fate's call. Below 20 units for men, 17 for women, shadows loom, freedom wanes. It's a forge for thriving late. Gains come slow. Studies peg 14% in 10 weeks, 18% in a year. But a lifelong forge yields more. 9 silver-haired snowstriders, honed for decades, hit 39 units at 80, double their idle peers. They danced as 50-year-olds, a crafted youth. Take Leon DuPont, a 102-year-old Gallic whirlwind who pedaled 26 kilometers in an hour in 2013. Unsated, he honed harder, lifting his crest from 32 to 36 units by 104. Elite for 80s folk. It's never too late. Weekly, 1 or 2 gusts suffice. 4-minute bursts at the brink, eased by 4 calm ticks, cycled 5 times. Full rest between keeps the fire pure. No champion's crown needed, just one blaze weekly lifts all sails. Once, a dash through a sprawling hub, lugging 25-pound packs, proved its worth. 8 minutes flat demanded that crest. Ancients knew it too, stalking prey with steady prowls, then fierce closers. Today, it's the range to keep. Call it the gale atop the mill, 1 notch past the steady hum, ready when the storm calls. Power's forge. Since youth, hefting loads has been a rite, 2 teens haunting a dank Toronto forge, awed by grizzled titans wrestling iron. Then it was for ring dreams. Now it's for the silver lifespan gauntlet. Muscle ebbs early. By 80, a third fades from youth's peak. Yet might slips faster, twofold. Speed thrice so as swift fibers wither. Only heavy resistance stokes them. Cruising gear guards the slow, but power demands more. Inaction carves deep. Days abed sheer pounds from the hail. A dozen silver folk lost 3.5 pounds in 10 days flat. A cliff's edge. Excess fuel hastens the rot, pooling in sinew. At its bleakest, this is frame fade. Low spark, shaky stance, a herald of frailty's 5. Shed weight, weary drift, slow steps, faint clasp. Standing wavers, falls loom. Rebuilding's a slog. Half of 80-year-olds gained naught in 6 months of toil. Bone's tail mirrors muscle, peaking young, then drifting. Women plunge post-shift sans aid. Lineage, smoke, or thin frames hasten it. A snapped limb at 65 claims up to 40% in a year. Bed's toll seals it. The guard, spot it decades prior, with 4 shields. Fuel tuned high, heavy hauls, aid if apt, elixirs if dire. Power's a vault, hoard it young to spend late. Not for show, but for heft carried far. Ancients thrived lugging bounty. Today it's packs on trails, 4 weekly roams, 55 pounds slung, scaling slopes. No chatter, just Earth's pulse. Burdens. Gift, by Luca Vento, deems it primal. Modern ease stole it, but hauling rebuilds. Uphill spikes the lung limit, down guards the frame. Aim for a third of flesh born strong. Beyond, 4 pillars rise, clasp force, hands to back. Rise and fall control, lifting and easing, pull strength, drawing near, hip leverage, thrusting up. These arm the gauntlet. Jars twist open, loads lift easy, chairs yield light. Clasp leads, studies bind it to fate's span. Weak hands flag. Frame fade. Strong ones brace falls. Yet today's grip pales. Youths fell from 130 to 105 pounds in decades. It's the world's latch. Frail all phrase, forge it with hauls, half flesh per hand, born a minute. Or hang from a ledge, 2 minutes at 40. Rise and fall. Step slow off a tall perch, 3 ticks down. Pull with rows, hinge with lifts, each a brick in time's wall.